Good evening, all of you. I welcome all of you to this last session of our tax Navratri batch. I hope that you have enjoyed the sessions and you have gained from them. Wonderful. So, what is agenda for today? Agenda for today is something surprise for you. So, obviously, we will revise quickly few things in income tax. But this revision of income tax today is totally going to be question answer based, quiz based. Whatever quiz we conduct in last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the class, that quiz we are going to conduct throughout the sessions today. That's why you must have seen there are no notes sent to you of today's session. So today, for whatever time, for say 1 hour or something, it will be all about income tax questions. Then we'll take a break, and then surprises, there will be GST questions and mixed bag from all things which we have done in this batch, also not done in this batch. So it's going to be mixed bag, so better be ready. So the whole agenda, or you can say whole aim of this, is to make you aware of your status. So what can happen is, after this session, either you will be full of confidence or you will understand where you stand, which topics you should focus on, that you will start understanding, isn't it? It will be mixed bag. You know, purposefully I want to keep it mixed bag because exam is mixed bag, right? They will not tell you which topic particular thing is from. So obviously it should be in line with your exam. That's why it is all mixed up. But what we are doing is, first half income tax and then next half GST. Okay, chalo, so let's start. All ready to give the answers? How many are there? Let me check. 11, 10. Okay, fine, no problem. Chalo, let's start. First question, in income tax, when I talk about surcharge for individuals, what is the rate of surcharge if my income is between 50 lakhs to 1 crore? If income is between 50 lakhs to 1 crore, surcharge is at 10%. Very good. If my income is between 1 CR to 2 CR, then surcharge is at, wonderful, 15%. If income is between 2 CR to 5 CR, then surcharge is at 25%. Who is, no Chaitanya, not 20, it is 25%. So all of you, 25%. Understood? And if my income, total income, is above 5 crores, then it is at dash percent. Darshan, it is at 37%. Wonderful. Good answers, Kashish. So understood the surcharge rates for individual as well as HUF. Rebate is applicable. Rebate for individuals or HUF is applicable if the total income is not exceeding dash 5 lakh rupees. Very good. Rebate means a sort of discount. This rebate is given under section 87A. The amount of rebate is the actual tax payable or 12,500, whichever is less. Okay, so this way you have understood rebate as well. You understood surcharge also. For individual or HUF, tax is payable when total income exceeds 2,50,000 but does not exceed 5 lakhs. For income falling in this category, tax is payable at 5%. For income falling between 5 lakh to 10 lakh, tax is payable at 20%. And for income above 10 lakhs, you know, tax is payable at 30%. You all are aware that there is something called as alternative tax regime. So you should do that also It is discussed in section 115 BAC. So many deductions will not be allowed. Okay, so you will be not allowed many deductions, and in lieu of that, means on the income which you calculate without allowing those deductions, you should pay tax on that at some special rates. Yes, you know those special rates. No tax up to 2.5 lakhs, between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs tax at 5%, between 5 lakh to 7.5 lakhs, what is the tax rate? 10%. 7.5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, it is at 15%. 10 lakhs to 12.5 lakhs, it is at 20%. 12.5 lakhs to 15 lakhs, whatever income falls in that, it is at 25%. And finally, whatever income exceeds 15 lakhs, it is at 30%. Wonderful. तो obviously ये भी आपको समझना चाहिए. This also you should understand. Friends, if I talk about individuals, Hindu undivided families, partnership firms, LLPs, basically any assessee other than company, then they have to pay something called as alternate minimum tax, AMT, under section 115JC. If I talk about companies, companies have to consider paying minimum alternate tax under section 115JB. Yes. So what is the issue is, in case of companies, though this is not applicable for CA intermediate, but applicable for CS professional, CA final, CMA final, all final levels. If I talk about company, then company will pay normal tax or MAT, whichever is higher. For company, what is the rate of minimum alternate tax? The rate of minimum alternate tax is 15%. Yes, it's given in section 115JB, and this is calculated on book profits. Okay, now let's discuss about the alternate minimum tax. Okay, so what are the 5 steps of calculating tax liability for firm or LLP or individual or HUF to whom provisions of alternate minimum tax apply? When these provisions apply, by the way, they apply when, in 3 situations. Either you have some deductions of 80IA to 80RRB, or you have taken deduction of 35AD. Agreed? Or you have taken deduction of 10AA. In these 3 situations, there will apply these provisions for non-corporate assessee. So what you have to do, you have to calculate total income as per normal provisions, tax as per normal provisions. Now you have to calculate something called as adjusted total income. Tell me in chat window what you have to calculate. You have to calculate something called as adjusted total income. Agreed? On this adjusted total income, you have to calculate alternate minimum tax at 18.5%. Don't forget the percentage, 18.5%. Now, what tax will you pay? You will pay normal tax or alternate minimum tax, whichever is higher. Darshan, how to calculate adjusted total income? So you have to take total income, disallow deductions of 80IA to 80RRB. Yes, then you have to disallow means add back. Then you have to add back 35AD deduction, and you have to add back 10AA exemption / deduction, whatever you call it. You have to add it, and only one thing you have to minus, that is depreciation under section 32 on assets which are used in specified business. Why so? because in specified business on the assets you had claimed 35 AD deduction, but right now Kashish we have added it back. कुछ याद नहीं है Kashish? No, don't remember anything? Do it. If you don't remember, you will have to do it. It is very important from exam perspective. Okay. So basically, adjusted total income means total income after disallowing these three benefits: 35 AD, 10 AA, and 80 IA to 80 RRB. When you disallow these benefits, then whatever income you get is called as adjusted total income. Government says you should pay tax of at least 18.5% on this. That's why tax payable is normal tax or 18.5%, whichever is higher. Okay? Yes, wonderful. Now, but वो adjustment क्या बोला मैंने? That 35 AD you will add and then 32 depreciation you will minus. क्या होता है? What happens if we claim 35 AD? If we claim 35 AD, what happens is we claim 100% deduction on capex. We don't even claim depreciation. We claim directly 100% under 35 AD. But this 115 JC provision, while calculating adjusted total income, is asking us to disallow 35 AD, which was extraordinary benefit. So they say at least allow normal benefit, which is of depreciation. Got it? Yes, obviously Kashish, it is there in CA intermediate. We have done it in the class in total income questions. Check. Obviously it is there in the class, it is there in CA intermediate, it is there in our recordings. Check. Okay, जो total income के questions है उसके recordings में है. And if you are doubtful on that, okay, no issues, no issues. Say रो मत. Everything has got an option. Okay, कुछ ऐसे रोने से ऐसे स्माइलीज डालने से कुछ नहीं होगा. पॉजिटिविटी फैलाओ. कुछ नहीं है तो क्या, ask Pratik sir to make a video. He will make a new video on it and give it to you. कुछ टेंशन नहीं है. एक वीडियो बनाना है. उस दिन बोला था टर्मिनल डेप्रिसिएशन. यस, दैट ऑल्सो आई रिमेंबर. मैंने नोट डाउन किया है. वन यू आर सेइंग चलो अल्टरनेट मिनिमम टैक्स उस पर बनाते हैं. क्या टेंशन की क्या बात है? You don't have to worry, you just offload your doubts and worries on me. ठीक है, they will be taken care. आपका स्माइलिंग चेहरा अच्छा दिखता है. But at this point, how I forgot? हो सकता है दिमाग है, इतना कुछ नहीं. ह्यूमन है तो ही मिस्टेक होगा ना, रोबोट थोड़ी है. फीड किया तो नहीं भूलोगे. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, याद आएगा. मैं आपको याद दिलाऊं क्या, वो एक बड़ा एसीजेड वाला क्वेश्चन किया था. एक बड़ा टोटल इनकम में एसीजेड वाला क्वेश्चन किया था. शायद मॉड्यूल का क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 है टोटल इनकम के क्वेश्चंस में, वो किया था. ओके, तो याद आएगा आपको. फाइन, डोंट वरी गाइस, डोंट वरी. इतना कुछ डिफिकल्ट कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है. लेट्स गो अहेड. वेरी गुड, लेट्स, नो प्रॉब्लम, लेट्स गो अहेड. देन do you remember what is overall ceiling limit for ATC, ATCCC, ATCCD? Overall ceiling limit for this is 1,50,000 and ATCCD 1B additional limit for contribution to NPS, which is rupees 50,000. I hope you all remember ATD also. D for doctor, Mediclaim. So Mediclaim, what are the limits? For Mediclaim, the limits are if it is being paid for assessee himself, his spouse and children who are dependent, then it is rupees 25,000. And if any one of them is senior citizen, then 50,000 for all of them together. And for additional limit for his parents, that additional limit again is 25,000, and if one of the parent is senior citizen, that is rupees 50,000. But what I had told you, there is one overall ceiling limit. Do you remember that overall ceiling limit for this? What? For health checkup. Health checkup overall ceiling limit is rupees 5,000, and this is a inner ceiling limit. तो देखो बाकी सब तो याद है ना, टेंशन क्यों लेना है. एंड वन मोर थिंग आई टेल यू, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है सीए सीएस एग्जाम्स में. आपको एक चीज याद नहीं है तो इसका इफेक्ट बाकी चीजों पे नहीं आना चाहिए. एग्जाम में एग्जैक्टली ये होता है स्टूडेंट्स के साथ. दिस हैपन्स विद द स्टूडेंट्स इन एग्जाम, दैट इफ दे फॉरगेट वन थिंग इट इम्पैक्ट्स ऑन अदर थिंग्स. एग्जैक्टली दिस शुड नॉट हैपन. ओके, वो जो डू यू रिमेंबर 60-20-20 फॉर्मूला आई हैव टोल्ड यू. 60-20-20 फॉर्मूला इज नथिंग बट आपको एग्जाम में इन योर एग्जाम व्हाट you will know to the extent of 100% when you look at the paper is maybe of 60 marks only. Means I saw the paper and I analyzed the paper in 15 minutes and I understood, okay, this 60 marks are my marks. In this 60 I know everything in and out. ऐसा एटलीस्ट 60 मार्क्स का होगा ना. यस, उसको आप ए कैटेगरी में डालो. Put it in A category. In B category, you put okay things, and in C category, you put things which you don't know at all, or which is a very tricky thing. You put it in C category. I know many faculties would be telling you solve 100 marks paper, but I am of a different opinion, and I stick to my opinion. My opinion is yes, you should solve 100. I am not opposing that directly, but I am saying be smart. 60-20-20. You know what is your A, what is your B, what is your C. अब सबसे ज़्यादा टाइम कहाँ पे लगाओगे? Where will you invest maximum time? Of course you will invest maximum time in solving A category. अब जब कशिश when you put A category में maximum time, you will get maximum output out of that. You will at least get 80% marks out of that. So 16 to 80% will give you 48 marks. So ये 2 घंटे में आपको 48 marks secure हो जाएंगे. And next half hour you dedicate to next 20 marks. From that you try to secure 10 to 12 marks. So whatever paper you thought was worst for you, in that also you can get 60 marks. What is that C category? C category ऐसा है जो आपको आता नहीं है, unfortunately. No problem. ऐसा होने ही वाला है. इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि हमने कम पढ़ा है, इसलिए क्योंकि these are professional exams. They are going to put a twist. Got it? So no issues. वो put that in last 20 and solve it if you get time. You should solve it, but priority last होनी चाहिए. Okay, now what happens with few students? They focus on that 20 only, which they don't know, and then that affects the balance 60 and 20, means balance 80. ठीक है, वैसे नहीं होना चाहिए. In your life, in practical life, will you get only such clients whose work you can directly do? Then you are on a wrong path. You should get challenges, na? Swami Vivekananda ji has said, if you are not getting challenges in life, then you are on a wrong path maybe. Challenges आएंगे तभी तो आपकी growth होगी ना. It's as simple as that. When you challenge yourself, when some things you don't know which you will try to understand, then only आपकी growth होगी ना. Understand? तो ये सब CA की exams, CS exams, these are all preparation for that. That's why they will put something which you don't know. Otherwise BCom and CA में क्या difference रह जाएगा? Tell me. Level तो होनी चाहिए ना. So it is for the tough-minded people. कि चलो जो होगा देखा जाएगा. What I know I will solve and I will get the marks. Okay. Doing best out of crisis. नहीं तो क्या होगा? One day before the exam, if something like this happens, that you are not able to recollect the concept, you will think of not going to the exam. And उससे आपके 6 महीने बर्बाद हो सकते हैं. Okay, there is one such student who decided, who is very sincere student. Means I told her you will come in all India rank, CS executive student. She did not have faith on her. 8 months she studied very sincerely. One day before exam, her father called me. She is crying and doesn't want to go for exam. I said slap her and send her to the exam. Come what may, you should send her to the exam. Even if she gets 0 marks, it's okay. Send her to the exam. Got the point? No, it's not about you. In general, I'm telling you. So, I told, send her to the exam, come what may. And do you know what happened? She went to exam for first paper. She panicked, whatnot, but she wrote the paper because I had told her, even if you get 0 marks, I will not judge you. I never judge my students like this. Okay, everyone is having potential. So, friends, she cleared CS executive at first go. And then her father and her mother, all of them had come to my residence with the sweets. So, ऐसे होता है. What if I wouldn't have picked call at that moment? So don't leave it on me like this at the last moment. Okay, what happened is I was in North India that time, and then she called me. Luckily I picked up the call. If I'm on vacation in your exam time, and what if I don't pick up the call? Then won't you go for the exam? So such things shouldn't happen. You should not panic. Remember my words that if you give your 60-20-20 try, result will be on your side. Okay, उस 20 को भूल ही जाना है. जो मुझे नहीं पता है ना, भूल जाओ उस 20 को. वो आपके कभी थे भी नहीं मार्क्स. 80 का ठीक से अटेम्प्ट किया ना, बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग डू सिलेक्टिव स्टडीज, आई एम सेइंग डू फुल स्टडीज. बट इन एग्जाम इट में हैपन कि 80 का ही आपको आता है. डू that well. Don't let that 20 spoil this 80. That's the whole point. कुछ गलत कहा नहीं? समझ में आया? इंटेंशन समझ में आपको? गुड. नाउ फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स गो अहेड. एजुकेशनल लोन का इंटरेस्ट ऑन हायर एजुकेशन लोन, that's allowed as deduction without any limit, but time limit for this deduction is 8 years. You cannot take it beyond 8 years. That is 80E. 80G is donations. Donation में there are dash categories. There are 4 categories. One category is 100% without qualifying limit, 50% without qualifying limit is second category. Third category is 100% with qualifying limit. Fourth category is 50% with qualifying limit. Qualifying limit is 10% of adjusted total income. याद रखो. Okay. Then friends, going ahead, 80GG is rent paid. Do you remember rent paid? Rent paid ka ceiling limit is how much for deduction? It is rupees 60,000. Means 5,000 per month. I should not say 60,000. It's 5,000 per month. And बाकी 2 points आपको पता है. 25% of adjusted total income and rent paid minus 10% of adjusted total income. इन तीनों में से whichever is less. Okay. Do you remember 80DD, disabled dependent? 80DD and 80U के limits are same. What are the limits for 80DD and 80U? 80DD limits are 75,000. 80U limit is again 75,000. And if it's a severe disability, then it is 1,25,000. Okay. क्या difference है DD and U में? U is taken by such assessee, individual assessee who is disabled but earning income. But 80DD is taken by such person who is maintaining a disabled person and who is dependent on him. That's the difference between 80DD and 80U. Okay. Then friends, 80GGB, 80GGC, donation to political parties. 80 Do you remember 80 TTA and 80 TTB? Very important. 80 TTA is interest on savings bank account and 80 TTB is interest on deposits, but yes, for senior citizen. Senior citizen means 60 or more than 60 in the PY. Agreed? Very good. तो आ जाएगा आपको सब कुछ, टेंशन मत लो. 80 QQB, 80 RRB. Do you remember? It's for royalty for authors, and next one is royalty for scientist on the patent. So, क्या है? What is the ceiling limit? So it's a deduction based on income. Ceiling limit for that is, as you all know, it is rupees 3 lakh per annum. Acha, what was ceiling limit for 80 TTA? 80 TTA ceiling limit is 10,000 and 80 TTB ceiling limit is 50,000. Wonderful. So be sure about all these sections. Also do that section 80 JJA. JJA, remember na? Kashish? JJAA, you remember, right? JJAA is for additional employees. Okay, for that SSE to whom tax audit is applicable. Acha. Ankush, you have done main batch for me only, na? Do you remember AMT? Alternate minimum tax. क्या आप भी भूल गए? मुझे मतलब जस्ट पूछना है. Do you remember AMT, alternate minimum tax? Little bit. ऐसा क्या होता है little bit? Okay, no issues. मैं उसके ऊपर पक्का वीडियो बनाऊंगा. आप मतलब इंडिया में बहुत लोगों को जरूरत होगी उसकी. Alternate minimum tax 18.5%. अच्छा ठीक. No worries. Okay, then friends, हाँ, Shraddha, no, it's not 115 JB, it is 115 JC. Okay, अब देखो, now remember, थोड़ा अलग पूछो. अभी मैं मिक्स करने वाला हूँ बहुत चीजें. Okay, let's see. In how many installments advance tax is supposed to be paid? It's to be paid in 4 installments. 15, 45, 75, 100. Do you remember? 15, 45, 75, 100. Yes. On which dates? Which dates? What are the dates? Dates are 15 June, 15th September, 15th December, 15th March. If there is a default or less is paid, then you end up paying interest. That interest is discussed in section 234C. याद है 234C में interest discuss किया है. Do you remember? Yes, 1%. And 234B is interest for delay after 31st March of the PY. That is also at 1%. That interest gets applicable only if tax paid is less than 90% of total tax payable. Okay. Then 234A वाला interest क्यों है? Why is 234A interest applicable? It is applicable if there is a delay in filing of income tax return. It is also payable at 1% per month or part thereof. Okay. Then what else we will discuss? How much is house rent allowance exemption? HRA exemption is list of following 3. A. Actual HRA received. B. Rent paid minus 10% of salary. C. 40 or 50% of salary. Salary here is equal to basic plus DA terms of employment plus commission percentage of sales. Terms of employment also means forming part of retirement benefits. Clear? And 50% is in those cities where rent is paid in Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai. If I am talking about rent free unfurnished accommodation which is owned by employer and allotted to employee, then valuation depends on population. If it is in such city where population is exceeding 25 lakhs, then valuation is 15% of salary. If it is in such city where population is between 10 to 25 lakhs, then it is 10% of salary. If it is in such place where population is less than 10 lakhs, then it is 7.5% of salary. When calculating income from salary, 3 deductions are available from gross taxable salary. Those deductions are of one, standard deduction of rupees 50,000. Okay, that is 1A. Second, entertainment allowance, and third, profession tax. In that, entertainment allowance is allowed only for dash employees, only for government employees, and where the limit is what? In entertainment allowance, limit is actual entertainment allowance received 1/5 of basic salary और rupees 5,000 per annum. याद है सबको सब कुछ? My next question to you is, if tax is not deducted at source while making payment for particular expense from a business, then how much is disallowed? Then 30% is disallowed. This is section 40A IA. If payment in excess of dash is done in cash on a single day to a single person, then the entire such amount paid is disallowed. Yes, rupees 10,000. But if payment is made to transporter, then this 10,000 is replaced by 35,000. Very good. What else I want to tell you? Yes, let me remember. The due date of filing income tax return for any person whose books of accounts are subject to audit is 30th September of the assessment year. And if tax audit is not applicable or no audit is applicable, then it is 31st of July. Yes, wonderful. In section 43B, how many payments are covered? In 43B of Income Tax Act, the certain expenses or certain payments are allowed as deduction only on actual payment basis. 43B I am saying only on actual payment basis. So we revised also that day. Certain amount payable to Indian Railways, statutory dues. Third, certain payment to employees, and lastly interest payable to banks. So these are allowed as deduction only if they are actually paid on or before due date of filing income tax return. What 14 answer you are telling me? You are trying to tell me, I think, number of specified businesses. Number of specified businesses are 14. Okay. If I talk about excessive payment to relative, what happens with excessive payment to relative for particular expense? That excessive payment is disallowed. How you calculate that amount disallowed is amount payable to relative minus fair market value of that expense. Okay. Standard deduction for income from house property is dash percent of GAV, dash percent of NAV, 30%. Okay, while calculating that NAV from GAV, we minus what? We minus municipal taxes paid by the assessee during the PY. Actual municipal taxes paid by assessee during the PY. How many properties can be shown as self-occupied? Any two houses at the option of assessee can be shown as self-occupied. The overall interest on borrowed capital with respect to self-occupied properties that can be deducted is rupees dash 2 lakhs, is rupees 2 lakhs. Understand? Okay, 2 lakhs in a year. Okay, if the loan is taken for repairs and renewals, then the ceiling limit is 30,000. Yes. For let out property, deemed to be let out property, there is no ceiling limit for interest on borrowed capital. Clear? If there is a arrears of rent received or unrealized rent is received afterwards, then there is a deduction allowed at dash percent, 30%. Yes, very good. Now see how I am shifting the topic. Family pension if received, then deduction is allowed to the extent of dash 1/3 of such amount received or rupees 15,000, whichever is less. ये टैक्स हो जाता है अंडर द हेड इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेस. Agreed? Yes. Clear na till this point? Okay. If I am selling one house property and I want to save capital gains, means I want to save tax on capital gains, then which section should I apply? Then I should apply section 54. Within what time I should invest in one house? One house within India, I should invest within 2 years from the date of, yes, within 2 years from the date of transfer. And if I am constructing a new property, then within 3 years from the date of transfer. Very good. If there is a long-term capital loss, against what it can be set off? Only against long-term capital gains. If it could not be set off in current year, then for how many years it will be carried forward? It will be carried forward for next 8 years, not infinity. Okay, not unlimited time period. Unlimited time period is for which losses? Unlimited time period is for 35 AD and unabsorbed depreciation, even unabsorbed depreciation, and even the loss which is because of scientific research, family planning, such losses also can be carried forward for unlimited years. Did you understand, Shraddha? Okay. Loss from house property in the current year can be set off against other heads of income. To what extent? To the extent of rupees 2 lakhs. Yes. And if could not be set off, then for how many years it can be carried forward? Loss from house property can be carried forward for next 8 years. Yes. Very good. Speculative loss, loss from speculative business can be set off only against income from speculative business. For how many years such loss can be carried forward? For only 4 years. Now one question, loss from lotteries can be set off against what? Wonderful, wonderful. It cannot be set off. Loss from horse races also cannot be set off. So there is no question of carry forward. But if there is any loss from owning and maintaining racehorses, loss from business or activity of owning and maintaining racehorses, then it can be set off against income from owning and maintaining racehorses, and it can be, if not set off, then carry forward for next 4 years. If income of minor child is clubbed in hands of parents, then how much exemption is allowed? Rupees 1500 per annum per child whose income is getting clubbed. In 3 cases, income of minor child is not clubbed. One, when he is earning out of own skills and talent. Second, when he is earning out of manual labor, or very good, if he is disabled. Good answer, Ankush. If he is disabled. So in this circumstances, income of minor child gets taxed in his own hands. Okay? Fine. Do you remember, just very much out of the way, but do you remember cross transfers in clubbing of income? Cross transfers means, one example I had given you, it's a case given in Keshavji Morarji's Supreme Court decision. I give gift to my brother's wife and my brother gives gift to my wife. If I would have given gift to my wife, income on that would have been clubbed in my hands, and he would have given income to his wife, income would have got clubbed in his hands. But that's why, to avoid this, what we have done, I have given gift to his wife and he has given gift to my wife. So this was done specifically to avoid clubbing. So government says in Keshavji Morarji case, nothing doing. When there are such transfers, okay, circuitous method is used to avoid tax, then in such circumstances we will call it as clubbing. And whatever my brother's spouse earns, that will be clubbed in my hands. Whatever my wife earns will be taxed in hands of my brother. Okay, good, very good. What is the TDS rate on letting out of immovable property, renting out of immovable property? TDS rate is 10%. What if it is letting out of plant and machine? It is 2%. What is the threshold limit in this section 194I? This is 194I section. So threshold limit in that is 2,40,000. Agreed? What is threshold limit in case of section 194H? What is 194H for? 194H is for commission. The threshold limit in that is rupees 15,000. Payments, if to a pay, are greater than 15,000, then it attracts TDS. What is the rate of TDS in 194H? It is 5%. Very good. What is the threshold limit in 194B and BB? B and BB is for winning from lotteries and then winning from horse races. Threshold limit is 15 or 10, 10,000 or 15,000. Check and tell me. Threshold limit is, check and tell me. Percentage is 30. Agreed. I am asking you threshold limit in 10,000. Okay. What is 194EE? 194EE is payment to non-resident sportsman or entertainer. What is the rate of TDS in that case? Rate of TDS in that case is 20.8%. Yes. If income is arising in India, then it is taxable in whose hands? If I talk about residential status of assessee, it is taxable in the hands of all, ROR, NOR and NR. Agreed? If I talk about income received in India, again it is taxable in cases of all three. Very good. If I talk about income which is neither received in India nor arising in India, nothing is happening in India, then still it is taxable in whose hands? It is still taxable in the hands of ROR. Agreed? Yes. Remember the concept of basic concept, so you know. What happens for income earned from agricultural land outside India? It is taxable. Acha. Kashish, you were not there yesterday? We yesterday revised 26 points in TDS. All 26 points. You can watch the recording. Quickly you will get it. If you have done once, then of course in yesterday's 1.5 hour session only we covered all of them. So for sure you will be able to recollect it. What I was asking you, from which topic I had started to ask you right now? Agriculture. Now listen carefully. If any amount of gift is received from a relative, it is not taxable. Who is covered in definition of relative? Spouse, lineal ascendant, lineal descendant, brother, sister, lineal ascendant, descendant of spouse, brother, sister, spouse. Okay, and everyone else's who are covered in this definition, their spouse. So my question to you is my father's brother's son my relative? Is my father? No, he is not relative. Very good. Is my mother's brother my relative? Means my mama. As per this definition, yes. So any gift received from them is not taxable. Not given to them, received from them. Okay. Then if it is gifts received from any person other than relative, then when it will be taxable? It will be taxable if aggregate of such gifts during the PY exceed rupees 50,000. Then it will be entirely taxable. You know, na, entirely taxable over. If it's a gift of immovable property, then it will be taxable when if the stamp duty value of that immovable property is exceeding rupees 50,000. Yes, any gift on occasion of marriage is not taxable. Okay, further, if I talk about gift from my employer, it is, if in cash, always fully taxable. If in kind, not taxable. If it does not exceed rupees 5,000. Yes. Very good, very good. So I hope you have understood what all we discussed till now. Yes. Very good. So what we'll do, friends, is we will take a 15 minutes break. Okay, I'll meet you back at 10:10. And at 10:10, what we will do is immediately we will complete with provisions of AMT. AMT को उड़ा देते हैं आज, AMT को खत्म करते हैं. Okay, so एक डिटेल डिस्कशन लेंगे from that module question, so you will understand how simple it is. So I will meanwhile show you that question, and maybe not all students will have that question, so I will upload also on our drive that question, and with the help of that question we will do that concept of AMT. Okay, chalo then, I'll see you at 10:10. Bye.